Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
There you shall be sold.
Sold to who?
Unto your enemies.
Unto your brothers and your friends. Unto who?
Unto your enemies.
God said you would be sold to your enemies. When you go to Africa and you look on the National Geographic, you know what you see? You see the lions are with the lions. You see the zebras are with the zebras. You see the antelope, the buffalo, the ibex. You see all of those animals, the zebras, the giraffe, the elephants, the hippos. Those animals are together. Even though most of them eat grass, they're not friends. They don't belong together. They don't say, hey, man, we're going to move up out your way. You can get some of this grass over here. They don't do that. It's 100 of us over here. And if any of you are stupid enough to wander over here, we're either going to leave or we're going to fight. Now, we are not animals, so we don't behave as animals. But there is a very important lesson that God put in life and in nature, that we are the only people that have not learned this lesson because we are in these garbage religions from the races of people who enslaved us. You understand? Pull this scripture. Keep reading, Yahanna.
For bondmen and
bondman. Hold on. A bondman is very important to say man and woman. There's a reason why it says men and women. Every time you see and, it's very important that there's a pause between both of them. A man that has a price on his head, that means that there's a price for a man. A bond is a price that's on your head. There's a bounty on you. The bounty on you as a black man is not the same bounty that is on a black woman. There's a bounty on you, black man. For sure it is. There was a bounty on us in ancient Egypt. Pharaoh said to throw the firstborn into the river if it's a male child.
That's right.
There was a separate bounty on the women. What was the women's bounty? They needed the women to do the bidding of Pharaoh, to build the empire, to raise the children, to serve the empire, the needs of the empire, the wants of the empire, the soul of the empire, the belief of the empire, the worship of the empire. And that is what they have taken our sisters to breed into our children by destroying our families. There's a heavier bond or a price on you, black man, Latino, Native American man. That's why they would offer the woman assistance and aid for school, for housing, for vouchers, for education, for child care, as long as she got rid of you. That is a systematic thing that America instilled solely to destroy us as a people. Because you know who is allowed to keep a man in the house? The Ukrainians getting government assistance. The 18,000 of them living in Chicago, they don't have a law that says that Ukrainians cannot have fathers in those homes. They don't have such a law. You know who else don't have such a law? The number one welfare recipient in America is the Jewish man, the small hats. They don't have a law to get government assistance that says that they are not allowed to have fathers in those homes. They don't have legislation passed to take the housing vouchers away and the food stamps and the government assistance and the child care that they take out of my check, your check, his check, her check, and my check again, goddammit, because I'm tired of it. They don't get disqualified if they try to send their kids to a better school in a different school district. They don't put their mothers in jail for using their aunt's address to send their kids in a better school that's not in the ghetto with a 40% graduation rate and a 20% literacy rate and a 50% teen pregnancy rate. They don't go to jail for that. But we do, and that is another reason why God hates this place. God hates it. You understand? And God is waiting for you and your mama and your daddy and your cousins and abuela and tia and tio to wake the hell up and start to hate it too. We'd be free by now if you hated America. If you hated it enough to stop having sex with another man's woman, to stop molesting all the kids in the damn church, to stop selling all the drugs in the neighborhood, to stop getting high, to stop having sex with sisters and throwing them away, to stop being a nasty hoe on the street, showing your behind to everybody all on the world, having sex with strangers. God would destroy this place and free us if you wanted to earn it. He would. He promised he would, just like he promised these curses would be upon us. He kept his end of the deal. He kept his end to the T. He said we would go in slavery with ships, and damn it, we went in slavery with ships, and we are still here. And you know what else he said? That if you stealeth a man, and that man be found in his hands and be sold, that you would be put to death. And that still stands too. That's why God said his eyes are on the sinful kingdom, but he does not utterly want to destroy the house of Jacob. So the rest of our brothers and sisters got to get in line. They got to wake up. They got to get out of church, get out the mosque, and stop trying to be Africans and Arabs. They got to come back and serve the Lord. You understand? Sister Yaquab, any more on that? No, read that again. Read that last part again. A bond man, there's a price on a man. They want you on drugs if you are a black man. They want your masculinity gone. They want you in pink. They want you in tight pants. They want you naked on the internet. They want to grease you up like Diddy and show off your muscles all on the goddamn street, all on the TV, like a hoe, like a prostitute. They want you in your drawers so that they can slap your muscles and see how high you jump. While the damn Dallas Cowboys owner is sitting in the locker room talking about how big your rod is. That's what they want. God damn this place, man. God hates America. That's what this place is about. There's a bounty on you. They already figure that if you can't read well by the time you get out of elementary school, the suburbs on the outskirts of the following towns over are planning for a new jail so they can fill it with you, black man, because there's a price on you. They know if you start rapping, chances are you're going to die. That's why the Arab record label owner and the Jewish record label owner put a life insurance policy in your rap contract, because he know you're going to die, because there's a bounty on you. But there's another price on you, sister. There's a bounty on you too, that they need to separate you from the black man, from the Latino and the Native American man. They need to separate your brain from believing that you need a man, that you need a husband, that father of those children, you're supposed to be with them. There's a bounty on your brain. There's a bounty on your body. There's a bounty on your eggs. There's a bounty on your murdered, aborted fetuses. Just came out on the radio show. the rich, super, ultra, mega Jewish rich white man saying he want to buy your genetics for your curves, for your hips, for your lips, for your skin. The very DNA imprint is better than all the other people that they have encountered, robbed, stole, swindled on the planet Earth for generations. And they say, you got the best DNA we've ever found. Can I buy it? Can we extract it from you? Can we get it out of your blood? Can we get it out of your bone marrow? Can I take it straight out your box? Can we buy it while you're ovulating every month? This is the price that is on our people. Make no mistake, they doing the same to our Latino brothers and sisters. There's a price on your children. They don't care how many billions of dollars they dump into Ukraine. They don't care how many billions of dollars it takes to send a stupid space shuttle in outer space. They don't care how much money it takes to send. It costs, how much did you say, Yagadar, to send the ICE agents across the country every day? What's the bill?
So like 225 million a day out of one.
America don't give a damn about no money. They taking random, uneducated, illiterate white boys right off the meth pipe, wash their face, put some pants on them, give them a badge, a gun, a vest, a helmet, and then they send them out on the street, and it costs them how much, Yagadar? One more time.
225 million a day.
$225 million per day. You think they don't have money to fix the leaking roof in your apartment building? They can't give you heat and AC. They can't subsidize your rent when they know that you are the least paid and the poorest people in the whole goddamn country. They can't fix your schools. They got $1 billion to give to Ukraine to blow up Russia. They blew up all of Afghanistan, all of Iraq, all of Libya. They got tons of money, man. They just hate us. They hate us as a people. And God wants you to hate this place too. Hate it enough to change who you are, to change how we deal with one another, not to be a part of it. Give me Micah 2:10, somebody. Hold me Micah 2:10. You understand? Nowhere in this country do they have liquor stores next to liquor stores across the street from liquor stores, except in the Black and Native American and Latino community. Nowhere. They know they're destroying you. They know this is the whole plan. Somebody give me Micah chapter 2, verse 10 real quick. Keep reading, Yaquab.
Khan, sir.
You got to be ready with that hook, Yaquab. I call it. You got to throw that hook, brother. That shit ain't going to be there forever. You know what the hook, Yaquab. Give it to him.
And no man shall buy you.
God said, no man shall buy you. That's old Quaker English, meaning no man shall free you. Money is not going to free us. If drugs could free us, we'd be free by now. If smoking weed could free us, we'd be free. If cocaine and pills, heroin, record labels, football, boxing, basketball, the UFC, robbing, scamming, stealing cars, breaking in houses, shooting, if anything could free us from Islam to Moorish science to Pan-Africanism, veganism, Dr. Sebi, if anything could free us, shaving your head, getting rid of your beard, grow your damn beard back, baby doll tassels on your t-shirt, turn into a sodomite, you still end up homeless, still end up in jail, still end up on drugs. Nothing will free us except turning back to the Lord, because this is a punishment for us not serving the Lord. You must look at America as a punishment. This is not your home. Who got Micah 2:10? Hit me with that real quick.
I have it, sir.
Go ahead.
This is Micah chapter. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye.
The Lord said, raise up. This doesn't mean to physically stand up. This means raise up. Get your spirit risen up. That means raise Israel. Rise, Israel. Rise your spirit up. America don't want your spirit raised up. They don't want you taking a knee because you get your head knocked off at a traffic stop. They don't want you to not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance because your people get executed in their kitchen like Sonia Massey, or they shoot you in your sleep like Breonna Taylor, or they strangle you to death like Eric Gardner, or they shoot you with your hands up like Mr. Brown. What's the brother they shot in St. Louis? You understand?
Salagi,
But they
sir,
beat
Mike
you
Brown.
half to death. Mike Brown, right. Or they shoot you in the back and then throw the gun on your back and say he reached for my gun, like Michael Schlager did to Walter Scott. Your truck break down and shoot you like Terrence Crutcher while you're trying to change your flat tire. This place despises us. It doesn't matter if you're Red Bull, if you're Sitting Bull, Rain in the Face, Red Cloud, Geronimo, Squanto. It don't matter who you are. There's nothing we can do. You can't bleach your skin. Michael Jackson tried it. It didn't work. They still hated him. You can chop your nose up, chop your lips up, get somebody else's bones, not talk black, talk through your nose, use a fake voice, code switch. They know it is a nigger under there. You can't fool them Cubans. You can't fool them Mexicans. You can't fool them Colombians. They know it's a nigger under there. They're not fooled. You fooled. You thought you were on the team. Nobody else thought they were on the team. That's why they have Chinatown. That's why they have Little Korea. That's why they have Little Vietnam. That's why they got Arab shops and smoke shops. That's why they have them, because they know they're not on the team. America is actively invading Nigeria, and you see more and more Nigerian food spots pop up in America. Nigerian food, jollof, popping up all over the damn place. Damn army invading Nigeria. The president steadily saying, no, we good, America, we got it. Another C-130 lands. It's time to wake up. The Lord is coming for the sinful kingdom. Read what you got from the top, Nataza.
Khan. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye.
The Lord said, rise up. Get your spirit risen up, brother and sister. Rise. Keep going.
And depart.
Depart. Take your spirit out of this place. Rise and depart. Keep going. Why?
For this is not your...
This is not your rest. America is not your home. This isn't the place you go to establish yourself to be accepted by the masses. This isn't the place where you go to be the president, to be the mayor, to sit in the governing body. This is not the place. This is not for you. It is against your people. It is the sinful kingdom that God is against. This isn't the place where you go and you try to marry the princess. You don't go marry Princess Peach because you see her on the TV, because you see her as Cinderella. You see her as Snow White. You see her as Sleeping Beauty. You see her as Belle in the goddamn Beauty and the Beast. You don't go marry her. That's not your princess. That's not one of you. Kiki is your princess. Maria is your princess. You don't come here to look for Barbie. God don't want you to be with Barbie. Barbie is not going to be hunted by ICE. You are. Barbie is not going to get beaten up, Jonathan Majors, when Barbie turns into Emily Rose. You trying to live Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King's dream of integration. God will not let you fit there. You're going to get your people killed. You're going to put your black son, Trayvon Martin, in danger of the white, poor, unskilled, racist white man, George Zimmerman, trying to want to be a police officer, and your black son is walking in his white gated community because you must have sex with a white woman. And now Trayvon Martin gets killed by George Zimmerman because you are in this white woman's gated community because you must have sex with Princess Peach. You must have Miss Anna. You can't pass by pink toes like Martin Luther King. You aren't allowed to do that. It angers God. It angers God to the point where an evil man will murder your son because this is not your rest. This isn't where you go to fit in. You were supposed to build your entirely separate world for your race of people with a separate language, a separate God, separate holy days, separate salvation, separate food, separate everything. That's what being holy means. Keep going, Batazar.
Because it is polluted.
God said it's polluted. How? Because of the blood that's been shed here. Because people who were stolen are here. The land has been stolen. Cities have been built with blood. Babies have been slaughtered here, fed to alligators here. The blood doesn't go away because the date changes. That's another reason God hates this place. Time does not make your murder not happen. You can't erase genocide because the date changes. That's what the oppressor thinks. He can murder everybody, and then time goes on and rewrite the goddamn book till you're the hero. Keep going. Any more on that?
Wakan, sir. It shall destroy you.
It shall destroy you. And us trying to fit in this place has destroyed us. It's destroyed us. I'm going to come to your question in just a second, Ryan. Give me Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Somebody give me Jeremiah 2 and 14. The Lord got something to say about this place. Is it 14 or 33? No, 14. Perfect.
I got it, Yahweh.
Whoever get it first. Go ahead, Uriah.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel
Start at 13.
servant?
Salaki.
Start 13. Salaki. Verse 13.
God said it. Yeah, give me 13 first.
For my people have committed two evils.
God said, my people have done evil on top of evil. This is why God said this place would destroy us. Evil on top of evil. What evil has been done? Keep going.
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
We forsook the Most High. We looking to Africa trying to learn something. They eating stuff that fall out of damn tree. Seen the Hamites on Facebook eating food that look just like them. They looking like they were just set on fire and drugged through the mud. They chewing on a piece of something that looked like it was set on fire and drugged through the mud. And they chewing it sideways, looking all rabid and full of rabies. We looking to Africans to learn about spirituality. The Egyptian empire folded. They speak in Arabic in Egypt right now. You still trying to pretend to be an Egyptian. They raiding the tombs, running through the graveyard, stealing all the gold, all the Jews, the whole damn casket of the Egyptians, and you looking to Egypt for spirituality. The Lord said, my people have committed two evils. Keep going.
And hewed them out cisterns.
And we cut out cistern, something to give us some other type of water, some other type of knowledge. All kind of silly stuff. Keep going.
Broken cisterns.
Broken. Something that does not work. It's broken. It doesn't work. You listening to Miss Cleo flipping over goddamn Pokemon cards, trying to play spades to figure out what's going to happen next in your life. She got a big pack of spades cards. The diamond of spades. The diamond, you understand? The goddamn queen of diamonds. Look like you going to hit the lottery, girl. You getting scammed, dummy. Oh, let me get these crystals. You know, the crystals bring good luck. Nigga, if you don't stop eating that food, you're going to die. And no amount of crystal is going to change that. Go see the doctor. The crystal is not going to make your feet stop hurting. The crystal is not going to help you. You got asthma. Go see the goddamn doctor. Burning sage is not going to ward off the evil spirits. If you do everything that God hates, you understand? Sage is not going to help you. Lauren London and Nipsey Hussle burned sage in that house every time they left. Guess what happened? Nipsey Hussle ass went to work and got killed. The damn sage doesn't work. You understand? It don't work. You go into Islam. You're in Islam. You're in the temple. You're learning Islam. Guess what happened? All the Muslims in your neighborhood selling drugs. Before they were Christian. The next time they got out of jail, now they Muslims. The drugs is still there. The neighborhood's still gentrified. Rent is still going up. Your kids still fighting at the bus stop when they get out of school. It does not work. You voted for more police. Voting is going to be the new system. We got to get out and vote. We've been voting for what, 60 years, 50 years? Guess what happened in those 50 years? We got heroin. We got crack. We got cocaine. We got all the military guns after each war, from the Tech 9 to the Mac 10 to the M1, the 30 carbine, all the old police revolvers, all the Mac 11, all the same guns that they used in the war found its way into the middle of your neighborhood. Do you know why? Because a vote won't fix that. They hate you. You have to fix who you are. We have to become something different as a people. Trying to fit in this place will not save us. You understand? This is what the Lord said. It's broke. It doesn't work. Islam don't stop the white man from bombing the Arabs. Islam did not save Muammar Gaddafi. It did not save all the people the Taliban murdered. It isn't saving anybody in Nigeria. It isn't saving anybody in Sudan. It isn't saving anybody in Somalia. It's not saving the babies getting molested in Afghanistan. It doesn't save the dancing boys of Afghanistan. It doesn't help anybody. It didn't stop Muhammad from molesting Aisha. It didn't stop him from molesting Muhammad al-bin Salam, the little boy who he called a virgin pearl. It doesn't stop anything. It's not real. It's broken. Church doesn't work. You go to church every day. You come home and life is worse. Your kids hate you. Your family hates you. Your woman leaves you. Your man leaves you. You're raising the kids by yourself. It doesn't work. It's broken. All of it has failed. All of it. You're a sovereign citizen. And guess what happens, sovereign citizen? You don't pay your taxes. You don't get your driver's license. You don't consent. Guess what happens? You with your sovereign self is in jail next to the Muslim, next to the Pan-African, next to the Christian, next to the fake Israelite after he just killed his tranny prostitute. You're all in jail together. You know why? Because it's broken and it doesn't work. We've been doing this nonsense since the days of Jeremiah, and it does not work. Give me verse 11, please.
Sir. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet
even though
no
these gods have a nation changed their gods? Come on. That's a question. Did they change their gods? Did the Arabs stop being Muslim? No. Even though they've been getting bombed by the white man and robbed and all of their gold and oil stolen, they still Muslims. The East Indians was dying during COVID. They were throwing the bodies outside the hospital.
That's right. I go check out Captain Abdul Shah's class out there in Virginia. The captain in Virginia. Oh, good night. The thing just fell off as I maneuvered it. Salaki, y'all go check out Captain Abdul Shah's class. You understand? Go check his class out. Go ahead, clap it up. All right, go ahead, clap it up. Most High Christ. All right. And this is preaching. I am preaching officer of 5,000 Malak here in Kansas City, and we are teaching the Wednesday night law class. Most High Christ, General, damn right. Shalom, General. Yahabba Shemashakatah. How you doing, Adawan? Salakia. If you see in the chat, you sign in. If you're a young brother or sister trying to earn your name, your Hebrew name, sign in. There's a sign-in form, a sign-in link that's required for you to sign in. You understand? Also, here in about 2 seconds, you'll see the links to the Passover links, right? Passover is coming up April 4th. Make sure y'all pay your Passover fee. Pay your Passover fee. Tonight's class is going to be about the Epstein files. How the salt, who is the salt of the earth? What is the salt of the earth? That breakdown gets misconstrued throughout the years. You hear fake Israelites and Christians use salt of the earth to mean something that it does not mean in the Bible. And we're going to break it down tonight. What the salt of the earth is, who are the salt of the earth, and what is their impact on the Epstein files. We're going to go over that tonight. Everyone understand? Here are the links. I'm sharing the links now in the comments section for the Passover. The Passover is coming up April 4th. Make sure you pay your Passover fee. All right, pay that Passover fee, $200 per person. Everyone over 17 years old should be paying $200. Everyone understand? $200. We have a horseback ride. We have the lamb slaughter. You have the all-black party, General Mahaiman's class. You understand? The Lord's Passover, April 4th, April 5th. At sundown, we will have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's a week full of events and full of brotherhood and sisterhood. That is April 4th, all right? The week of April 4th. And I'm sharing that in there now. If anyone has any questions, please put your questions in the comments section. Shalom to the sister Bashamav. Yahweh Shema Aleph Bashami Al-Shah, sis. Who else do we have in here checking in? Let's see. Who else do we have? Okay, we got a few, trolls in there, but no sweat. Y'all, the trolls keep coming. But if you have any questions, any comments, put them in the comments section, all right? Give me 1 second. All right, I'm sharing this in here now. I'm sharing the Passover itinerary in here now. There we go. And like I've said before, at the beginning of this class, when we start class, I always each week will highlight a class around the nation, around the schools, right? The last few weeks has been DC, right? Captain Mashak, Officer Kazak Ahmad, Captain Adazak Nashai, right? That way we support, that way everyone that's watching, all the followers we have on our page that are watching our page will also be inclined to watch the other schools' pages, right? Because music, for some reason, YouTube does not like you playing more than 30 seconds of anyone else's music. They will ban the goddamn shut everything down. So what we're going to do is we're going to be sharing our pages, our schools, you understand, glorifying and exemplifying the work of the Lord under command and General Yahanna that's been put in since 1969 by men that are better than me. We're going to do that every week. All right. All the links are now in the comment section. I got to do it on Facebook as well. But while I'm doing this, remember, if you have any questions, ask questions. We got a sister that just checked in. All right. Give me 1 second. Shalom, sis. Who was that? Sister Nichelle Taylor. Most High Christ, Omaha. I remember this sister right here in Omaha, Nebraska. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shema Bashami Al-Shah. All right. And we got my main man, Kakum Bar, coming on the stage now. Let me bring him on. Give me 1 second. All right. Uh-oh, Salaki. He's setting up. He's setting up. Right. But let's go into it. Let's get into it as the brother's setting up. I have here. Let's get into what we have. Right. So the salt of the earth. Right.
Salaki.
We're all the way from Genesis. Hold on. I believe I can hear you. Can you hear me, Kakam?
Hanamakan, shalom. Yahweh Shema Shabbat.
Shalom. Yahweh Shema Shabbat. What's going on, CG? What's going on, Kakam?
What's going on? Man, can't call it, another day in Babylon,
Yeah, like, brother, another day. Law
class.
Yeah, right. Another day in Babylon, another day under oppressors that are in the Epstein files. Everything I sent you out, it was blood curdling. It made my stomach hurt. Some of the evil and the disgusting, lascivious behavior from our oppressor, it made your head hurt. I know it made my head hurt. I didn't even want to keep reading some of the things that I sent this brother that we're going to go over this evening. It was disgusting. Things that make R. Kelly. Listen, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, something. Those devils that are in the Epstein files, the things that they did to these innocent children, they make R. Kelly and P. Diddy look like Saint Maurice and goddamn saints in the Bible. They make R. Kelly and P. Diddy look like God-fearing men. That's how terrible your oppressor is. And while you're trying to be like your oppressor, while we're trying to be like our oppressor in the church and in the Muslim mosque, we end up in jail like R. Kelly and P. Diddy. Meanwhile, everybody that's in the Epstein files, all the oppressors that are littered in that file are free. They're with their families, they're with their children, they're able to live freely after they raped children, 8 children, unalived children, ruined families, aborted babies, stole organs, stole children, kidnapped, trafficked innocent children. They're living their best life. Living their best life. You should stop being like your oppressor. We're going to go into that tonight because this is who the salt of the earth really is. We're going to break it all down tonight, Kakam. Let's get it. Do you have the scriptures I sent you, Kakam? Okay, Baba Kushah. Let's start me with the first scripture I sent you. I don't see any questions in the comment section, so let's go straight into our topic. Before you get the scripture, give me the give me the article I sent you out. Please, please, please. I believe it's the
one about Michael Jackson or something.
No. Give me this. It's a link that I sent you on Instagram about the dentist office. Remember, 3 weeks ago, we were in this class breaking down the pictures. And in the Epstein files, just for everyone that doesn't know, please don't research it. I mean, I can't tell you what not to do, but it wouldn't be wise, in my professional opinion, it wouldn't be wise for brothers or sisters to try to look this stuff up. I wouldn't want this on my phone's history. I'm only looking at things that white people have researched that are trying to be down for the cause. We're going to go over that tonight too briefly. These white people who are so our oppressor that are all over social media that are enraged with the Epstein files. We're going to go over if they're sincere or not. And we're going to tell white people how white people can absolutely be sincere about helping the innocent children and the victims of Donald Trump and the Epstein files. We're going to go over that tonight. But first, give me the Instagram clip I sent you. It's a link I posted in there, and under it, I said, now I see what those dental chairs were used for. I want you to see, I want you to play that for the class. All right.
Khan.
Whenever you're ready.
It's loaded.
Fair use, right? Kakam, we got to say fair use.
Fair use. We're using this for education and entertainment purposes.
Yeah, right. Roll down a little bit.
Yeah,
right there. No, yep, right there. Right there.
Khan. Yeah, the orientation of it is a portrait, so it don't show it all the way, but I'm gonna continue.
Go ahead, it's all right. I just want people to see this. Now, if I make it come, go ahead and stop it. Excuse me, if I may, this is what I want everyone to do. So I want to say, I'll share it on the school's page, on I.S.U.P.K. Kansas City's page after this class. The not the link, but the post, right? Or I'll do it on my personal page after class. What I want everyone to see are the pictures that this Instagram video is referring to. Because in one of the Epstein, and I think it's over 3 million, brother, I learned last weekend that there are 50,000 gigabytes of Epstein files in child pornography that make up the Epstein files of emails talking about eating children, unaliving children, aborting babies. I want to go buy this little 11-year-old girl. This is all in the Epstein. 50,000 gigabytes. 50,000. That's 50 terabytes worth of child pornography of all of the white people who run the world. You remember that. You remember that. In one of the files, there were pictures of a chair, of it looks like it's a dental chair. It's a dentist chair, right? And I remember saying in this class 3 weeks ago, in this law class here in Kansas City, I said, Cucumber bar. I said, this just is bone chilling. I said, this makes me think all of those movies and things that people have made in Hollywood about some old crazy, deranged pedophile or PDF file serial unaliver. This was all about Epstein and this island. On this cat's island, they had this pediatric dental seat, and they would do God knows what. That's what I said a few Wednesdays ago. I said, could you imagine what they were doing to those children on this chair? Brother, play the video. This is what they were doing to children on this chair. It came out this week in the Epstein files. This is what Donald Trump, all of his friends, all of the wealthy, rich aristocrats, whites who run this world, this is what they were doing to children on this dental chair. Play that out. Play it again. Go ahead, play it again, Kakon.
Lucky, do you want me to read that? Because it's kind of
before you read it, play it again. Now read what you got out.
It says, so this is an email to someone named Karina Shuliak on Monday. I can't really see that. In 2017, it says, hi, the tooth parcel has arrived, USA, and you will receive them soon. Further, in order to avoid loss of teeth due to postal inspection, we have attached all teeth to a cardboard with Fevicol -it. It will look like a beautiful picture. Remove all teeth.
What did they say to do to the children? Say that again.
Remove all teeth.
Do it. Say it again.
Remove all teeth.
Brother, let me explain to you what these sick bastards were doing to these children on Epstein Island. They were removing their teeth so they didn't bite their penises. That's what they were doing. I'm sorry to get graphic to come, but this is the white man we're talking about. And his life has been graphic to us. Brother, there's a book called Medical Apartheid. Shout out to Captain Meshach Mayum, who, years ago at camp in D.C., he brought this book out called Medical Apartheid. No one listened to Captain Meshach did. General Hyman years ago brought out the Delectable Negro. No one listened to the I.S.U.P.K. did. We were telling you since '69, we've been telling white people and blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians what the white man has done to us, has done to the Gadites, the Arapaho, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Cherokee, what Andrew Jackson did to them. We've been telling you for years the criminal that rules over you, the sick bastard that rules over you. We've been teaching you this since '69. Now when white girls, it happens to them, everybody believes us now. We've been telling you it's been happening to black girls and Hispanic and Native Indian girls for centuries. No one said anything. No one had any kind of hearing in the congressional office, any congressional hearings in DC when it happened to us. But it happens to the people who have the complexion it happens to people who really matters, Kakam. People who really matter, whose lives actually matter. But when it's happened to us, it's in books, it's documented in the Smithsonian Museum. It's at the Vatican. It's in their records, what they've done to us. No one said anything. Now do you believe us? Now do you believe us when we tell you that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of? They had the children's teeth removed so that they could perform fellatio on these white men, children, babies. When I say babies, I literally mean newborn babies. They were having performed fellatio on them. They would starve them from their mothers so they would suck harder. That's what they are doing to your children. That's what they've been doing to Negroes. That's what they've been doing to Latinos. That's what they've been doing to North American Indians. Now do you believe us? This brother just showed you and read. This is in the Epstein file. This is public documentation. If you wanted, you could go on and look this up yourself. You could see the images of all of these pediatric dental chairs. And I just said to myself, I just know this is not what they were doing. Brother, you can never put anything past your enemy. You can never put anything past the oppressor, the white man, Esau, Adumya, Adawam. You can never put anything past him. He does every sick, vile thing that he imagines, that his flesh imagines. He only listens to Satan. He is the devil. And this is who rules over us. This is who rules over us. Let's go to while the brother's taking care of what he has to take care of. I have another video. Now, this one you'll be able to see good. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, viewer discretion is advised. Gabar, you back with us?
Come.
Okay, the second one under that, I want you to play that one now. Right, I want you to see what they were doing to babies. The same thing they were doing to our babies for 400 goddamn years. This is what they are doing to their own babies. This is what they're doing to their children. I want you to play what you got. Oh, you ain't pulled it up yet. Yeah, play what you got. So click on that link I put under there. It's a rough one, and then after this, we'll go into the scriptures. We'll start breaking everything down and put it all together so it can make sense to our people. So maybe we inspire change in our people life. Maybe your own children don't invoke you to change. Maybe when you see it done to Black children and Latino children, maybe you just don't give a damn. Will you stop getting high for white babies? Will you stop having sex with whores for white babies? Will you stop going to the Christian church for the sake of white children? You is smart. You is kind. I know you love white people. I know you love their children. You didn't stop crack for your children. You didn't stop having sex with whores for your children. Maybe you will stop sinning for the sake of little white innocent children. Maybe that will invoke our people to change, could come, because if this don't impress you, if this doesn't make you change, if this doesn't influence you to change your life, then brother, I don't know what will. Show me what you have.
Fair use.
This one I can't even look at. I cannot even look at this one. I will vomit if I look at this here. Go ahead, play it to come. I'm just not gonna look at it like that shit. That's like, like this here.
I don't know.
Okay,
Is the one you got long? The one you got longer than that? Because that's how fast it goes.
No, it's probably that quick. It's probably that quick.
Okay,
just read what you really just read it out, so we can get the hell off of this. Brother, this whole thing could come is disgusting. This is what's so sad about it. Imagine what they did to us.
Right.
Imagine the things that weren't documented. There was a plantation owner in Jamaica. Look him up. Look up Thurman Thistlewood, and look up. He documented all of the disgusting, cruel things he did to Black men and Black women in Jamaica. And he was one of the most powerful slave owners in the West Indies at his time. Look him up after you show this and read this, the Epstein files. Look him up. Go ahead, read this out. Read what you got about the cream cheese. This is good Lord.
It says they said it had a cream cheese taste because they ate the baby's intestine, which might have been filled with digested milk nutrients.
God. And then look at the picture of oh God, brother. You better turn back to the Lord. You better put weed down. You better put down your strange gods like Christmas and Islam and Christianity and Thanksgiving, April, Passover, or Easter. You better put away that Easter God, put away that New Year's God. That's what Easter is supposed to be. Easter is supposed to be Passover. That's a mistranslation for all of you brothers and sisters in the world that are unlearned, right? Your Easter about bunnies, that Easter has to do with Ishtar, which is Greek in Romans gods. It has nothing to do with fertility goddess. It has nothing to do with what's in the Bible. Passover, which is about Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians being set free from the Egyptians, from our God. You have taken on strange gods, and it has infuriated and angered the Lord to the point that the Lord put people like this over us, all because you won't stop getting high. They're eating in the picture the baby's intestines, and they said it had a cream cheese taste. My God. Because it was filled with digested milk, breast milk from the mothers. And this is who Dr. King wanted us to love. Brother, if Epstein was alive during the days of John F. Kennedy and those Kennedy boys, the Kennedys would have been in the Epstein files. For all of you Negroes who love JFK and Dr. King. Dr. King would have for sure been in the Epstein files. Dr. King would have been having more sex with them kids than a little bit. Jesse Jackson too, he just died. Jesse Jackson, brother, if Epstein was around 80 or 60 years ago, JFK would have been in all the Kennedys, Robert, John, Jackie, Jacqueline, all of them, the girls too. They would have been in the Epstein files because these people that the Lord have over us, brother, these are beasts and animals. They're animals with no morals, no morals. Tonight we're teaching you where morals actually come from. You're going to be shocked at the revelation of where morals come from, because clearly the people who rule over us don't have morals. They don't know what that is. They don't know what kindness is. They don't know what it means to have to have sympathy. They don't know what it means to just have integrity and to not do something based on what God said. They don't have that, but somebody does. And we're going to go over who those people are. They were eating these children, literally, like something out of a Hannibal Lecter movie. And also, to this same point, Kakam, what we just went over last week for everyone that's joining us this week, not only did they eat these children, before they ate these babies, and when I say babies, I mean 5-month-old, 6-month-old, 11-month-old children, babies, they would have those babies perform fellatio on them. Right. Does everyone understand what I just said? They would starve the baby before they would have their, act on them so the baby could suck harder. And then after they were done with this baby, just like a piece of trash, they would unalive it and then eat its intestines. Brother, you better get the hell off of drugs, Doc. Right. You better, you women, you sisters better stop being whores and leaving these brothers. You better stop. You better come into the I.S.U.P.K. You better be there at Passover, and you better pay your Passover fee, because I don't know how much longer you want this to be over you. I don't know how. I don't even know what the hell you're doing. This would make me get off of a white woman if I was in the world. I would be looking at this class and say, "Oh, I got to get the hell out of here, woman." Natalie, I got to get out of here, Karen. I can't be with you no more. I don't want Epstein to rule over me anymore. And all of the people that are in the files. Those are all the white men who rule over. They're your lawyers, your school teachers, your judges, your priests. Everybody is in these files. Everybody. Celebrities, right. Movie stars, everyone that rules the world here and the British crown are all in these Epstein files, including those Arabs. Then we just talked about this during the Stop the Child Molestation. This is a part of their culture. What in the hell do you want them to do? This is what we can do. We can obey our God. Give me that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter. Give me Leviticus first. Go to Leviticus 18:3 first. Shalom, mighty man. What's going on, soldier? How you feeling? Now, you got any questions you ask, all right? To the young man. Go ahead. Give me Leviticus chapter 18, verse 3 first.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
Listen, the Bible, this is God telling the children of Israel, so-called blacks, us, our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. If you could, give me Thermal Thistlewood. Give me the Jamaican plantation owner. Give me him as well. Like, hold that Jamaican plantation owner, but pull it up, right? The Bible in Leviticus, the 18th chapter, verse 3 says, after the doings of the land of Egypt, what did the Egyptians do? The exact same thing the white man does. The Egyptians were the precursor to the Greeks. Where do you think the Greeks got that LGBTQ lifestyle from? They got it from the Egyptians. Miss Ryan. That's who they got it from. The house of bondage. That's who they got it from. They got it from those Africans that you want to go back to be like, that you praise and worship so much. That's where the Greeks and then the Romans got their lascivious, sinful, nasty, immoral behavior from. They got it from the Egyptians. God does not want us to be anything like the Egyptians, which is why he gave us his laws. That's important to remember in this breakdown. God gave who his laws? Psalms 119, is it Psalm 149? Psalms 149, verse 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob. He gave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's who he gave his law to, his rules to, his ordinance to. He gave it to us. That's who he gave it to, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Listen, now, he didn't give it to the Greeks. He didn't give it to the Egyptians. He didn't give it to the Romans. Why is that? That's the question you need to ask. Why is that? Why didn't the Lord give that to other people? Why did he give it to one race of people, but not everyone else? Surely the Lord was fed up with the sin of the earth. That's in the Bible. Surely the Lord didn't want you to eat babies and to have babies' teeth taken out so they could suck harder. Surely he didn't want that. He did give his law to a group of people, to a race of people. Why? Why did the Lord do that? Why did he give his law to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians?
So we can be the light to the Gentiles.
Give the brother a hand so that we could rule the earth.
Right.
We're supposed to be in rulership. I don't know if blacks and Latinos know that or not. You're not supposed to be picking cotton or cutting Donald Trump's grass. You're not supposed to be, some peasant working for your oppressor. The oppressor is supposed to be some peasant working for you. That's the entire reason the Lord gave you his law, so that you could show the earth how to live. But instead of that, what did we do? We wanted to walk, to go back to Egypt. That's what we wanted. We wanted to go be like the Egyptians. We want to be like Epstein. That's why you get R. Kelly and T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and P. Diddy. Because you have a race of people who, instead of wanting to be righteous, to be the salt of the earth, you know what you have You have a race of people who want to be like their oppressor, to the point that we want to look like our oppressor, like Venus and Serena Williams, like Sammy Sosa, like Little Kim. We want to chop off our nigga nose like Michael Jackson. It's not enough to act like him and to share his sinful, disgusting, lascivious behavior, his dalliances. We have to also look like him too. That's white supremacy. That is the people that the Lord never wanted us to be like. He wanted us to have our law, his rule, his looks, his and when I say his reputation, let me say that instead of looks. Even though God is a black man, Christ is a black man, the angels are black. The Lord wanted us to be like him. He wanted us to have his reputation.
Right.
You understand? Say it again,
No, I was gonna say, like in the beginning when he said he made Adam to be in his image.
Brother, we're going there next, Kakam. We are going there next. Give him a hand. Give Kakam a hand. We're going there next time. That was next. That's the reason why. To show the world and everyone watching this class and who will watch this class that Adam was a brother, and the Lord chose this brother so that he wasn't like these other people. You Christians teach that Adam was the only person on the earth. That's not true. There were other races of people there with him, but they acted like they do now. Base, low, immoral. They acted like animals, groveling around, eating what they could suck and find, eating clams and, tuna fish and God knows what pork, eating everything, lions and hyenas. They were like the people now. People are base, they're animals. The Lord needed to choose some race of people to not be animals, to show everyone that you can be sophisticated and sentient. You don't have to be some goddamn rube. Look that up. Could come a rube in your own time. RUBE. You don't have to be some rube. That's all the people who voted for Donald Trump, who's in the Epstein files. A bunch of rubes. The Lord didn't want mankind to be rubes.
Right.
Or pagan, which is what a rube is, some pagan. He didn't want that. He wanted us to be sophisticated, to rule over life, to rule over animals and the trees. Give me that in the Bible. I go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Kushai. The Lord gave us something to make us different than everybody else. Salakia. In fact, Salakia, before you go there, give me Matthew. Go to Matthew 5 and 15. Give me the salt of the earth, Bible Kushai. This is what's necessary right now. Give me salt of the earth. And then go to Genesis 2:7, all right?
Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. It says, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Verse
this
15.
Is written in, if I make it come, this is written in red, which means Christ said this. And at this time, he's on the Mount of Olives. He's teaching his people. I think it's the Mount of Olives could come. And he's having a class. He's at camp teaching his people what? The lessons that we didn't learn in the church. We learned that we're all equal. Ain't that what we learned in the Christian church? We learned black. When I say we, I mean blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. White people don't learn that we all equal. That's why they wrote a constitution for their people. That's sacrosanct to their people. We learn that we're all equal because we're the slaves. We learn that we're equal. That's not what Christ is teaching his people. He's not teaching a message about equality for mankind. This is what Christ is teaching his people. Read what you got out.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Did you hear that? Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on where? On the hill cannot be hid. What is this? What is Christ saying? What is the light of the world? What is that synonymous with? What is light? Light is, you need it. It's guiding you. It's bright, which is, even the word bright is, it can be figurative. Bright doesn't mean like these lights are bright. It could mean this person shines, which is what Christ is saying is, ye are the light of the earth. You shine. The earth is in darkness. When Adam walked the earth out, the earth was in complete darkness. Not saying that there was no sun. Darkness is another figurative word that is not necessarily meaning that it's like dim, but it means that it is void of morality. Do you understand, Kakam? The earth was void of morals, void of enlightened sophistication. It was a bunch of races of people on this earth when Adam walked the earth that did what they wanted to do. Does everyone understand? It was darkness, precept. For light have come into the world, but men loved darkness. Base nature is dark. Even the word nature, to be like nature, what do dogs do? They hump anything, don't they, Kakam? What do horses do? Horses will kill their own child just to put the woman, just to put the mare in heat so he could have sex with her again and again. What do deers do in the wild? A buck will have sex with a doe so much that he could puncture a hole in her stomach. That's nature. No one stops it from happening. Why? Because it's natural. That's what man did before the laws of God. Before Adam will receive the laws of God, before he received dominion over the earth, how do you get dominion? With sentientness, sophistication, knowing that you are nothing like this animal. You're nothing like the animal. The animal can't stop himself, but I have the ability to. I have the ability to look at a white woman and not have sex with her. I have the ability to look at weed and not smoke it. I can look at a child and not molest them, unlike Epstein and Trump. You have the ability to not do something. Animals don't have that ability. That's darkness, void of morality. Christ said that ye are the light. You give the earth, you brighten up the earth with your morals. He's going to talk about it in the next verse. Keep reading.
Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel.
Meaning this, you can't put your light, you can't dim us down. Listen, let me explain something. Brothers and sisters from times of old, from the 60s and 70s, there used to be a spirit on brothers and sisters that we got to fight the man. There was always this righteous spirit. There's always been a righteous spirit on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Excuse me. The fighting oppression. Look at the Haitian Revolution. Fighting oppression. We got to stick it to the man. Hey, brother, on the black hand side, that's what DAP, discipline and pride. DAP is Black Vietnam veteran invention. There's a black history fact for y'all. It stands for discipline and pride. They used to have some old code that they would dap each other up during the Vietnam War to keep each other safe. That's righteousness. That's light. You understand? Being righteous. Looking at a woman and not forcing her to lie with you. That's Black and Hispanic. What do other races of people do? Other nations, it is a part of their culture to grape women and girls. Am I making this up? Could come Gabar, tell them, please. We taught a whole series with Jeremiah Hyman about this topic. It is a part of other races of people's culture to have lascivious sex. It's not like even Aisha and Muhammad. That isn't looked at as wrong in their culture because they're animals. They're animals. Right.
Police
it's like they don't have the power. So like, go ahead, come.
No, it's like not to interrupt. So like you know, it was Captain Katazai, he coined the term Muhammad police be upon him. You know, I think that's
police be upon him. Yeah, listen, you know why Captain Katazai said that? Because he is the light of the world.
Right.
He is the chosen people of God. That's why. Because Captain Katazai is a Parium. He's an Ephraimite, a so-called Puerto Rican. And the Puerto Ricans, like Bad Bunny, are the chosen people of God. Captain Asher Parium, chosen people of God. Our morality comes from the Bible, which is where morals come from. There are no morals. There was a famous philosopher by the name of St. Thomas Aquinas. I have one of his books. Give me 1 second. Look at this thing here, Kakam. Now, this is a bunch of toilet paper, but this is called the Summa Theologica of St. Thomas Aquinas. Brother, I've read this book here. Yeah, I know I like to read and research. I like to, you know, I don't want to be silly. I like to learn. I read this book here. He has a lot of them. Thomas Aquinas. Let me read about this right here. The Summa Theologica is considered the greatest work of St. Thomas Aquinas. This is what theologists, he was a theologian and a philosopher. He also was racist. Go figure. He also believed that black people were inferior, but he has books written about the morality of Christianity and where the morals come from. That's a great debate in philosophy. Well, where do morals come from? In this book, in the Summa Theologica, he concludes that morals come from God. Him, John Locke, Thomas Aquinas. Give me some more. Friedrich Nietzsche. He was an atheist. But throughout the years, white philosophers, which is a white culture, is philosophy. Philosophy is you sitting around pontificating about nothing. This thing here was a waste of money, if I could just say so myself. Don't waste your time going to college studying philosophy. Salakia. Don't even do it. It is a bunch of nothing. I'm just warning you, you're going to waste money. But one of the things that I can say is even your oppressor who you love, which is the only reason I'm bringing this up, he even concluded that your morals and his philosophy, morality comes from God. Morals come from the Lord. Who did the Lord give his morals to, his laws to? He gave those laws, those morals, to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
How else do you think we are the light of the world? Because we jump high and run fast? I had this conversation with Officer Elias Shire. Give Officer Elias Shire in Kansas City a hand. He's my second in command. Give him a hand. The brother's learning. And I told him, I said, he said, Salaki, sir, but it's a salt of the earth, which we're about to get to next. Salt of the earth is, you know, our physical ability. He didn't say it was just limited to our physical, but he said, physical ability has nothing to do with being the salt of the earth. How in the hell does jumping high and running fast, how does that stop children in the Epstein files from getting their teeth ripped out of their mouth so they could suck Donald Trump's penis? How does that stop that from happening? How does your physical ability stop people from being immoral? There's only one answer. It doesn't stop people from being immoral. Morals stop people from being immoral. That's what being the salt of the earth is. Read that now. Read that scripture now.
Kanawakan. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Go ahead, read the salt of the earth, which should be the next scripture.
Kanawakan. And it says, no, Salakia, hold on, this ain't. Salakia, you know what? It's verse 13. Matthew 5 and 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Ye are the what?
Ye are the salt of the earth.
Keep going.
But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Just like being light of the earth, what else? What does salt do? It makes something better. Salt preserves things. It makes things last longer, and it makes food taste good. It makes things better. Being the salt of the earth, you make the world a better place. How is LeBron James, with all of his physical abilities, making the world a better place?
Right.
If you get high, but you shoot a good jump shot, how does that make the world a better place? It doesn't. Your physical ability has nothing to do with you being the salt of the earth. And over the years, you'll hear brothers break that, young brothers in the school coming up. Well, you know, we jump the fastest and run the highest. That doesn't make the earth better because you sing so well. Because according to your wives, Adele, a white woman, also can sing as good as Aretha Franklin, according to them. They think Adele is soul music. Did you know that could come? My father told me that. That's how shocking that was to my father, who was born during the civil rights, during Jim Crow. My parents were born during Jim Crow. My father could not believe the fact. I don't even think he listens to Adele. He was so shocked that they consider Adele's music soul because he grew up at a time when they still called our music colored music. They called it race music. That's what they used to call it, not colored music. They called it race music. When Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters broke the scene, they called it race music. Rock and roll, Big Mama Thornton, they called that race music. My father was so shocked to come that they considered Adele soul music. He said something about it. He said they consider Adele soul because he grew up with Aretha Franklin. Aretha.
Right.
He grew up with Aretha Franklin, one of the greatest soul. She's the godmother of soul, the founding mother of soul. And he just could not believe it. I've learned recently, I got a wife. Black women like Adele. They like her music. They think she's a soul. They consider it soul. Cucumber Bar, if Adele has a voice that can sing, wouldn't she be the salt of the earth?
Exactly.
If salt of the earth is your physical ability, then wouldn't Jerry West and Larry Bird, wouldn't they be the salt of the earth because they also can shoot a good jump shot? Wouldn't that be the salt of the earth could come? If physical ability is the deciding factor of who the salt of the earth is, won't white people be able to be included? Here's what white people aren't included in. They aren't included in receiving the laws of God. Neither are the Arabs, neither are the Africans. We are the salt of the earth because the Lord gave us his word. He gave us his law and his statute, and he has not dealt so with any nation. We are the salt of the earth because let me tell you, let me hit you to something. If there were no blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, the Epstein file would be nothing.
Right.
It wouldn't be an outrage against the Epstein files if it weren't for the morality of black people, the righteousness of Hispanics and Native Indians. You think white people have some chip that they possess where they could be moral? They don't have it. Arabs don't have it. Neither do Africans or Asians. The other nations that are on the earth are the beasts of the field. That's in the Bible, brothers and sisters. Christ even called that white woman a dog because even Christ knew these are animals. These people are animals. How did Rome fall? From moral decay. Moral decay. They didn't get wiped out from the Mongols. They didn't get wiped out from Genghis Khan. They didn't get wiped out from some existential threat. They got wiped. They wiped their own government out because they were immoral, Kakam. That's why one of the greatest empires that history recognizes failed, because they were just simply animals. They didn't have what you have. They weren't the salt of the earth. They weren't moral. They didn't have, don't eat pork, don't eat shrimp, don't have sex with white women, don't have sex outside of your race, don't eat food with blood in it, cook your food thoroughly, wash yourself, cleanliness. They didn't have laws against sanitation. They didn't have sanitation laws. Who does? The Israelites. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's who has God's law. That's who has his word and his statute. That keeps children from being unalived. That keeps girls from getting trafficked. Or else, who would give a damn about girls being trafficked if it wasn't for us? If this land was only white people, you could rest assured it would be like Rome and Caligula. This place would be Caligula. That's what it would be. How do I know? Because Caligula happened before. Because Rome happened before. And Greece happened before. That's how I know. Babylon happened before. That's how I know. Because throughout history, it tells you that these other nations fall because of their immorality. Their immorality. Finally, it could come. The white man who established America, they learned from their mistakes in Rome. They said, we got to have some type of law. So you know what the British did? Do you know what the original Americans did? They read something called the Bible. And they read the laws in Leviticus and Exodus and Deuteronomy and Genesis. And you know what they did, Kakam? They created the laws of America. That's what every Western civilization, say it again, Kakam?
And like the Constitution,
yes,
all that,
Yes. They read the Bible. They read our records, and they said, well, these people are moral. These people are not like us. So what are they doing that we aren't doing? Oh, I see. They don't eat babies. They don't eat children. They don't rape children. They're not PDF files. If it wasn't for us, every child in America would be groped and touched and unalived and thrown away like trash. We give the earth salt because of our laws that God only gave us. Now give it to me in Genesis 2:7. Show me in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. This is where morals come from, young man. They come from the laws of God in the Bible. You would be an idiot to assume or think or pontificate that morals come from your own enlightened self. You hear so many white atheist nuts who try their best to deny the existence of God and deny the Bible. They try their best to say, well, atheists, you know, what you hear them getting battles with white Christians, and you would always hear the Christians say, well, then where do your morals come from? They got that from St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas teaches the modern day theologians how to battle with his summaries. This Theologica is a book of summaries, summations and summaries. He asks an objective, he asks a question, and then he answers the question using, what does St. Thomas Aquinas answer his questions using? The Bible. The Bible. And so white theologians, modern day theologians, what do? They just copy what his work, John Locke, all of them were racist, which is where Christian nationalism comes from. It comes from white philosophers of old, like St. Thomas Aquinas and John Locke. And so what happens is they ask these atheists, well, where do morals come from? Why is it wrong to unalive a child? Why is it wrong to grape a woman? And atheists are stuck. They say, well, morals come from yourself. Well, it can't come from yourself because Jeffrey Dahmer's morals, Jeffrey Dahmer loved to eat black men, gay men at that. Jeffrey Dahmer liked to put his rod inside of other men. So clearly, if morals come from your own individual self, we would all be dead and great. There has to be something that it doesn't come from man, a higher intelligence than man that gives you the ability to not rape a child. If we left our morals up to Trump and Epstein, all of our children would have their teeth ripped out of their mouth with their mouth on Donald Trump's private parts. So we can't get morals from man. Your morals have to come from the Most High God. That's where they have to come from. That's the reason why he gave us his law. That's why he gave us, thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Why do you think he gave you that? Why do you think he said, thou shalt not eat swine's flesh? These are the beasts of the fowl of the air that you can eat. These are the beasts of the fowls of the air so that you can eat. You know why he said that? So that you didn't get bird flu, so that you don't have COVID-19 and the norovirus, so that you don't have the Black Death or the Black Plague, the bubonic plague, so you don't have swine flu. That's why when your wife is on her cycle, if a woman has an issue of blood, you are to be separate from her for a week, for 7 days. Why does the Bible say that? So you don't get food-borne illness. So you don't have flu and stomach flu and all of these flus and viruses that come from, you know, touching other people's fluids and droppings and drippings. You don't have sexual transmitted diseases in Israel when you obey God. Now, this is a land that is full. This is a landfill full of every foul thing, every disease, every disgust, everything that's foul. This land is full of it because you don't obey God's law. You gave up God's law, black man, so that you could have sex with white women, so that you can be American, so that you could salute the flag, so that you can vote. That's what you gave up God's law for. How did that work out for you, Kakam? How did that work out for us? Read what you got.
Yeah, this is the book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
Ooh-wee. Man became living now. Dust. You gotta dust the dirt off your shoulder. I know y'all know that one. I know you're black. I know you know slang. Uh-oh, you had your background, part of your background fail could come.
Oh shit.
I know you heard that one before. Throw the dust off your shoulder. This brother Adam was a brother who was in a low state. He was in a low state like who else? Like everyone else that was around him. And even in science says that mankind took a leap of sophistication. This leap happened right here in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. The Lord blew his breath of life. Does this literally mean that the Most High God came down from his throne and blew breath into dirt? This means that God gave man something. He gave Adam something. He gave him law. He gave him order. He gave him sophistication. Adam, now he went from being a rube, R-U-B-E, to being a brother who could become a lawyer, who could study law. A brother who now could go and study science, who can study physics and algebra, who can create fire, who can create a car out of metal, who can drill for metal, who can do the calculations to drill for metals and precious metals. This is what the Lord gave man through Adam. He gave you sentientness. You back with us, Kakam? No sweat. Go ahead, take your time, Mike. You too hard. The Lord gave us sentientness. He gave us his law. And because the Lord gave us his law, because the Most High God gave us his reputation, his name, because he gave us that thing that took a leap from man groveling around on the ground to being a brother or sister of people who can think, who can be better than a goddamn dog or cat. That is now how you have morality. Now you see this woman, you don't have to force her to lie down with you. You can go to her father and ask permission to be with her. You don't have to be like a pit bull, just biting her down to the goddamn ground and graping her, forcing her like Donald Trump does all his women. Now you can actually have sentientness. You can be better than an animal. You can have sophistication. You can love something. You can love someone. Before us, no one knew what the hell love was. No one knew what brotherly love was, brotherhood. No one knew any of that. That's law. You know what love is and what brotherhood is because God gave it to us in his law. We didn't know what the hell is love. What does that mean? To value someone more than myself? To give my life for somebody that isn't myself? What is that? That's the law to do that. How else do you think you know what that is? You wouldn't know it if it was for the Africans or for the Greeks or the Romans or the other nations who came before Adam. You would have never known it. The Lord needed somebody to give this thing to. He gave it to Adam. Keep going, Kakam.
Khan, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
Now you're living. Now you're alive. Now you're not dead. What does it mean to be dead? Does that mean that you have no life in you?
Right.
I didn't give you the answer. Being dead is also another one. It's slang. To be dead it's like being asleep. You're unconscious. You're unaware. That nigga dead, man. He's not really dead, is he? He's going to die physically, and that's a physical term these YNs use. This nigga dead, man. I seen the way he looked at my girl. I'm gonna go shoot the club up. Now I gotta go kill everybody. That's a dead. That's being unalived, right? But then there's the dead act that we are. There's something that we are, zombies, the living dead. You're a zombie without the laws of God. You don't know. You had something you wanted to say, Kakam?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like in the book of Ezekiel, was it chapter 37? If I'm not mistaken, where Ezekiel says these are the valley of dry bones.
Yes, and give them a hand.
Can these bones live?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Kakam, well said. Yes, the Bible says in Ezekiel, I believe it is the 37th chapter. The book of Ezekiel says, can these dry bones live? He wasn't literally looking at dry bones. He was looking at a condition of a people. And we are in a condition of death. We don't even know how to live. The COVID vaccination came out. Black people were against it because you want to die. You're against life. You don't want to get off drugs. You don't want to go get mental help. because you don't want to take that schizophrenia medicine. General Hyman talks about that all the damn time. You don't want to live. There's something in you that wants to die. Brother, the Lord overcame this by giving, or Adam overcame this by receiving the breath of life. He received something that everyone else didn't have the opportunity to have, and that was the obedience to God's rule. Now, guess what Adam had over everyone else? He saw pork and didn't eat it. Do you understand, Doc? He saw a clam and he didn't suck the clam juice out of it. He saw seafood boils and he didn't participate in the seafood boil. He saw a woman with a gigantic behind and he didn't go hit her over the head with a rock and take her vagina. He didn't go take that. He went to a woman's father. That's what he had the ability to do. I see this woman is gorgeous as all get out. She has big breasts and big behind. She looks nice. Maybe I want to inquire about her. Let me go and ask her father. Before Adam, you didn't have the ability. Man didn't have they didn't do it. They hit that big behind woman over the head and just raped her. The same way white men do today. With all of this Harvard and Yale and Oxford and all of their degrees and their years of study, they still don't know how to not behave like an animal. Let me tell you something, Mark. There's something fundamentally wrong with white people. That is the truth about them. There's something about them, Mark, that it's a fundamental issue, and it just hasn't clicked. You have certain great white men like John Brown who it clicked in, but then the 99% of them, it doesn't click. And I don't know what that is. Is it something they're willing? Are they willing participant in being an animal? Because white people are animals. Arabs are animals. They're absolute animals, like a gorilla or a hyena. They eat what they want, eat what they can, and they put their rod wherever they can, like an animal. Like, do white people understand? And women, they're women too. Like Farrah Fawcett and the Playboy Bunny and Pamela Anderson. They dress in a way naked, and they dress in a way like a dog or a cat. Like a dog and cat don't have clothes because they're animals. Why don't you have any clothes on? Why are you twerking on Facebook? Why are you having sex? So do you mean to tell me, sis, that you're having sex because you're horny? You know who else has sex with anything, because any man, because they're horny? The male of their species, because they're horny? Any female animal. They get in heat and they allow anything to just get on top of them.
Right.
Right or wrong, Cucumber Bar.
Come.
So do you mean to tell me that you're no better than an animal? That's the oppressor. That's the oppressor. Donald Trump is no better than a lion or a cat or a zebra or a dog. They're animals. They're brute beasts made to heal. The Lord made sure he chose a people who were not going to be animals, but the people God chose to be the salt of the earth gave away their inheritance so they can be like Donald Trump, so they can live like Farrah Fawcett and a white woman and the Playgirl Bunny. You gave up all of your glory and your grace so that you could be white. Your daughters want to be white whores. That's why they dress in booty shorts. That's the reason they dress with their breasts out. That's why they have sex with anything when they're in heat, just like a effing bitch. Just like a bitch, literally a bitch, a female dog. When a bitch gets in heat, any dog can put their rod in her. That's what you've become. Because one second, I'm gonna come to you, because we've given up the inheritance we once had, which is the laws of God. That thing there keeps us from behaving like the other nations. Go ahead, come Salakia.
No, Salakia, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say, because you mentioned how they wear the tight low cut shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back in the day, they used to call them Daisy Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that came from a white woman named Daisy Duke off of Dukes of Hazzards. And she would always wear the Daisy Dukes. That coined that term. And before that, you know, black women didn't really dress like that. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
But now, and then you got what's his name? Uncle Luke. He came out with the song Daisy Duke song. Who's the girl with the Daisy Duke song?
Mhm.
And that just came to mind when you brought that up, because that's where they got it from. They got it from our
Yes.
oppressor.
Our oppressor.
So,
Listen, that's where we get every vile thing from, is our oppressor. How
Right.
do I know that could come? How do I know that? Precept. You read it earlier. Show me that you were, somebody online, show me you were in class tonight. How do I know that we get sinful culture, the culture of being a whore and everything that goes against God? How do I know we get that from our oppressor? How do I know? Dukan, would you like to answer?
yeah, Conor McCon, we read that in what was it? Leviticus 18.
What does it say?
Leviticus 18:3. It says, after the doings of the land of Egypt, which America will be spiritual Egypt,
Yes, it is.
wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
That's how
And
I
after,
know. Oh,
okay,
Salakia, I was just going to tell you, that's the reason I know that every vile thing and act that we do, we get it from Egypt, from Babylon, from Greece, from Rome, from modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. After their doings, ye shall not do. We do after the doings of our oppressor. That's the reason why we're in the condition we're in. That's why. That's the reason why people like Epstein and Trump rule over you, because you want to be like Epstein and Trump, because you want to have sex with who you want to have sex with. It's no harm in having sex with a white woman, right? You want to go marry Maylene from the carryout like Jeezy? That's nothing wrong with that. Love who you love. I know who else loves whoever they love, want to love. Zebras and hyenas, animals, gorillas and bears. They put their rod in anything. A hole in the ground.
Right.
I think you can be better than that, brother. You don't need to love who you want to love. You should love who God tells you to love, because you have the sophistication and the enlightenment to do it. Unlike your pet bull. Go ahead, Kakam. You had something else you wanted to bring out?
No, I was just saying Conor McCon.
Now let's go to, no, you too, about. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 49. Now show me that thermal, I think his name is Thurman Thistlewood. Show me that out.
Yeah, so like every time I look it up, Thomas Thistlewood comes up.
Yes.
And then when I do look it up, it's a lot of read, but I did find a clip of an oppressor explaining some of the things that the book may talk about. I don't know if you want to hear his little commentary on it.
Please, brother, there's a book about this. Is, if I could, the water could come. This is something also that I'm starting to notice. Have you noticed this? Like, I'm somebody, I like books, I like reading about history. I love history. War history, military history, Black history, Asian history. I love to learn history, and I got books about history. And I look at these books and the cost and the price of these books. And I noticed when I first came into truth, the prices of these books, and I notice now the prices of these books. Have you noticed, if anybody else out there, don't just have to be Kakam and answers, has anyone else noticed that these books talk about history, things that actually mean something, have really gone up in price? And I'm not talking about going up in price because of inflation or tariffs, because these are books produced in America. I'm talking about going up in price because maybe our oppressor wants to hide things from us. That makes me want to get that book out. There's a book about Thomas Thistlewood that is $101. That is an incredible amount of money for a few page book about a slave owner. It's called Tyranny, Mastery, Tyranny, and Desire by Trevor Bernard. It's $101. Things like that makes me want to get that book, because what is in that book? What is in these books that reveal all of the like, I guarantee you, if you look up medical apartheid in 1 year, 2 years, that book is going to be $500, just like the Russian icons. Brother, you can't find Russian icons for less than $1,500. When I came into the truth, you know how much the Russian icons book was? $36. $36. You will find bookstores giving it away for less than that, used bookstores. Now, after the truth and the I.S.U.P.K have taken over the internet and the airwaves, could come, These books are $101. That book about the black swallow of death, a book that the water to General Q, General Kabalama, he sent me that one for free. Thank God for General Q. Brother, if I had to purchase that book would have been something like $600 for learning about this brother who was the first black, I want to say, fighter pilot over there in France. Like, his life was incredible. He's called the Black Swallow of Death. Read about, look him up. Don't read it. The book is $600. Could come. I know you got the money. Could come as an architectural engineer nut. He's somebody who was an engineering nut, the architect and drawing and college degree here. This is a college kid here. This brother here is college. Him and his rib are just smart and educated, and he's made of money. Look at him. Look at the brother with the glasses on, and he wears the finest headpieces. The headpiece fabric is all, it's Egyptian silk. The brother's made. He's not like me. I didn't go to college. I did not set foot in the college. I just read. That brother did he went to school. You understand, and has the money. Listen, now you go buy everybody the goddamn Black Swallow of Death. That book is like $400. Like, I'm not playing. The Russian icon is $1,500. In a year, medical apartheid is going to be $150 because it reveals things that white man, our oppressor, does not like to be revealed. Our oppressor doesn't want the truth revealed, and that is clear throughout history. And because black people, we're off the plantation now, massa. We freeze now, massa. We read, could come. And the white man does not like that. He doesn't like us learning and getting educated and going to school, becoming doctors and lawyers and pediatric neurosurgeons. He does not like that. He wants us to remain his slave so that he can pay us what he wants, and he can do to whatever he wants to us, like he did those little girls in the Epstein files. That's the whole reason they even study eugenics, because they're trying to figure out how the hell are people who have been oppressed like this for so long is still better than us. How do we get their genes? How do we do it? I'll pay $50,000 for them. Why? Because these people are incredible. They are the
salt of the earth.
Give them a hand. These people are the salt of the earth. They're the light of the earth. You can't keep these people down. These people in slavery become politicians, teach themselves to read like Benjamin Banneker, and create Washington, D.C. and design it. These people are incredible. We got to study them. That's eugenics. How do we keep these people down with, the devices of science and medicine, with the Tuskegee experiment and medical apartheid? How do we do it? We got to find out a way to keep these people. That's eugenics. And then they use people like the Proud Boys, the Ku Klux Klan, and Donald Trump to oppress you more and more, to make you scared and more scared of what? To learn and get educated. Brothers and sisters, go get educated and learn. Get every book you can find on the truth about our history and the history of your oppressor, and go be lawyers and pediatric neurosurgeons and engineers and scientists, because your nation needs you. Go ahead, Cucumber Bar.
No, I was going to bring out, that's like the black woman that used back in the 50s, Henrietta Lacks.
Yes.
They had her cervical cells taken without consent in 1951, creating the HeLa cell line. And it was the first to reproduce indefinitely. And these cells, vital to modern medicine, enabled the development of the polio vaccine. So that's like all these so-called conspiracy theorists. They so scared of vaccines. Why do you think there's no one with polio no more?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no more really kids don't get chickenpox no more. You know what I mean? And I had chickenpox when I was a kid, but hey, I'm almost old man now. You know what I mean?
You still young, guy.
Right.
Don't let General Muhammad hear you say you old. Don't let him hear you say that.
But you know what I mean? Like they ain't getting polio no more. You're not getting chicken pox, but they use this woman's DNA, you know what I mean, and research her to create all these, even when it comes down to HIV treatments and the COVID-19, even the COVID-19 research and all that. They use this black woman for that, you know, and that goes into what you were saying.
Yeah.
yield.
Most High in Christ. Give him a hand.
Damn right.
That's the study. That study is called eugenics. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's what our oppressor have been doing. That inspired Hitler to do it to the Jewish man. Do you understand? Because he saw the eugenics program on the North American Indian. He saw that on our brothers from the tribe of Gad and Reuben here in the southern United States of America, Florida, Bama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas. And he said, we got to figure out these people. We got to keep them down. And that's the mission of white people. What is black people's mission? To love white people. You see how backwards we are?
Right.
Our mission is to be like white people, to be equal to white people, love white people. Their mission is to oppress us, unalive us, hurt us, destroy us, rape us, kill us, unalive us. And we still want to love them, serve in their military, vote for them, vote in their politics, be like them, be equal to them, kiss them, love them, have sex with them, marry them, and raise their children. We are two manner of people. We're too loving, kind. These people that rule over us are in the Epstein files that starve babies and then eat them. Go back to what you have now. Oh, you said you found that article. Before you read the last scripture we have, go to Thomas Thistlewood.
Yeah, kind of like I was saying, it was more so we're gonna hear what this oppressor's commentary on, because it's a long read. We can just hear what he say real quick on it. Yeah,
please
fair
share
use.
the video if you could.
We're using this for
viewer discretion
educational.
is advised and fair use. All right.
Hear this name in schools, not because it's a secret, but because it is too horrific to teach. Thomas Thistlewood wasn't a king or a general. He was a British slave owner in Jamaica in the 18th century. And for 37 years, he wrote everything down. Every rape, every torture, every mutilation in detail. His diary is one of the most disturbing documents in British history. Thistlewood started as an overseer, a middleman of brutality. He later bought his own land, enslaved dozens of people, and never returned to England. But what makes Thistlewood different isn't what he did. It's that he wrote it all down. In his diary, Thistlewood recorded 3,800 instances of rape. And it wasn't hidden. It wasn't ashamed. It was documented. On January 26, 1752, he wrote, "Gave Pibea a good cut whipped, then gave her a good dose of salts." Pibea was an enslaved concubine. She had no way to refuse. Their so-called relationship is cited by some historians, but it is rape over decades. And then there were the punishments. On May 26, 1756, he wrote, "Darby catched eating canes, had him well flogged and pickled, then made Hector shit in his mouth. He called it Darby's dose, and afterwards he had the man."
You about to say something?
No, I want you to play the whole thing. I want to hear what everything he's saying. I just saying, that's just this is a disgusting race of people that rule over us.
Right.
Gagged for hours. This wasn't instances of rage. This was just policy. He had salt rubbed into people's wounds. He had ears nailed to post, and he burnt people with hot wax. And all of this was to maintain control over people harvesting sugar for British profits. Thistlewood was never punished. He was never shamed.
Kakam, can you hear me? I think the brother froze up. I think he froze up. Kakam, you froze. If you can hear me, you froze.
A monster, and there is no doubt. But he also was not an exception. And this is where we need to be careful. A lot of people want Thistlewood to be an outlier, an outcast, but he simply wasn't. But historians like Vincent Brown and Trevor Bernard warn us. What Thistlewood did, the system allowed and encouraged and required. And the horror really isn't that he existed. It's that he thrived.
Yeah, go ahead. You can stop now, brother. That was one slave owner. You understand? That was in the
Yes,
West
sir.
Indian Islands of Jamaica.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear, Con.
Yes, like I can't hear you for some reason.
Is
Hold
anyone
on.
else having trouble hearing me? Let's see. Oh, let me see.
Say something again.
Can you hear me?
Like, I can't. I still can't hear you.
Salaki, I sound fine on the recording. I heard myself just now on the record live.
Probably on my end. It's probably on my end.
Say it again, Kakam. Can you hear me, Ak? All right, the brother's having some technical difficulties. All
Put
right,
a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear him.
Yeah, put a 1. I can hear Kakam. I can hear you clear, but I cannot. You saying you can't hear me? I can hear you. Right, the brother's just having some technical difficulties. All right. Let's move on. So you have this plantation owner in the West Indies named Thomas Thistlewood. The video Officer Kakam just played, brother. That's what that oppressor who was doing the video said. He said that this is just he's not an outlier or an outcast. This was normal. That is what oppressors did. That is what slave masters did. Kakam, can you hear me now? Kakam Gabar, can you hear me? I don't think the brother. I can hear myself in the broadcast. So I think it's just your side. I'm having some technical difficulties, but don't sweat it, Kakam. Don't sweat it. Ain't no sweat out. All right. This cat was not an outlier. He was the norm. That's what slave owners did. And he was something that was disgusting. He did things. Did you see he made the slave eat another slave's feces, their dung? They said in this devil, he was an outlier in this. He would document every evil, disgusting thing he did. Most slave owners didn't. Some slave owners didn't. He was one that did. Some British devil from the West that had a slave plantation in the West Indian Islands. And that's what he did. Now let's show you the scripture. Also, to that point, you see that white boy who was given an account of what Thomas Thistlewood did, right? Now we're going to get into the Bible. Let's go to, this is our last scripture. We're going to finish off here. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49.
Khan, I'm back, Salaki.
Can you hear me, Kakam?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Salaki.
Most High Christ. Give the brother a hand.
All right.
Now let's go to Deuteronomy 28. And it was at 49. I told you the whole, give me that scripture, right? And before he gives me that scripture, this is something I want everyone to, if you're Black and Latino, I want you to pay attention to this. You're going to notice a lot of white allies, a lot of white people who are good white people who are making videos about Trump, who are making videos about devils like Thomas Thistlewood. And in your ignorant Christian Black mind, you think that they love you and that they have compassion, unlike their race. You think they're good white people. You think they're an outlier. You think they're exemplary to their race. Let me tell you something. After the Civil War in 1865, when it ended, can you hear me, Kakam?
Khan.
Okay, no sweat. You look froze for a second. I didn't know. The Civil War ended in 1865, Kakam Gabar. 1865. 4 days after the Confederacy found out that the Civil War ended and that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, the devil John Wilkes Booth, 4 days later, unalived Abraham Lincoln for the Emancipation Proclamation and the Civil War, for them freeing the slaves. Let me tell you what white anger is, what white anger looks like. You want to know what white rage and white anger looks like? It looks like Abraham Lincoln being assassinated. That's what that looks like, Kakam. Let me tell you, Black people, something. If white people were really angry about the Epstein files, there would be no Donald Trump. There would be no, all the devils who were in the Epstein files, Weinstein, Trump. There would be no Bill Clinton. They would do to them what they did to Abraham Lincoln. That is what real white anger looks like. So don't be fooled by white people who make videos on social media about their own people, their own races, crimes against humanity. They're making videos to get money off of social media. I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. I wanted to hit black people to something so that you can be warned against an enemy that is cunning. The white man is cunning, and if you allow him to be, he will lie to your face if you allow him to, and he will make you feel what? Compassion for him. He will make you feel sorry for him. You will look at the videos of all of these white social media creators and content creators, and you will say, well, that's a good white woman. She's bringing out the crimes of Epstein. Brother, that white woman is bringing out the crimes of Epstein because she gets paid every month from Facebook for getting so many followers and views. These white people, if they were really angry, they would do to Trump and every white man that was in that Epstein files what they did to Abraham Lincoln 4 days after finding out about the Emancipation Proclamation. Does everyone understand? Now, knowing that, read what you got out.
Khan Makan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50.
No, read that again from the top. Read that again. Keep going over that one. That's what you want.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
Brother, there's a nation that is coming from far to be over. This is a prophecy in the Bible. Here's another thing you don't want, a huge mistake you can make being a young brother or sister in the truth. Here's what you fake Israelites say too. Don't ever say this. Because our slavery was prophesied of in the book of Deuteronomy, what we're reading right now in the Bible, that means that we had to go into slavery. Don't ever say that. Ever. You will get cut, and you show that you have no understanding of a prophecy or the Bible. Because the Bible says that we will go into slavery again with ships, that doesn't mean that we had to have gone into slavery with ships. How do I know? Because the Bible says, if you don't hearken unto the voice of the Lord, this is going to happen. That's another mistake that you can make. Well, slavery had to happen because it was in the Bible. No, dummy, it didn't have to happen. We didn't have to go into slavery again with ships. We didn't have to be ruled over by these evil, disgusting PDF files that are in the Epstein files. We didn't have to do that. We did it because we didn't obey God. That's why. We had an option to not go into slavery with ships. We could have been free from slavery. We could have ran the world if we had listened and obeyed the Most High, to the Most High God, our God. If we would have obeyed the Lord, we would not have been into slavery with ships. Because this is in the Bible doesn't mean that it has to happen. It's warning you. That's what this is. This is a warning to the children of Israel of what is going to happen to your children, your posterity, if you get high, if you vote, if you love nations outside of your own, if you have sex and marry races outside of your own, if you are a liar and a thief and an unaliver, this is going to happen to your children. You don't have to suffer this. You don't have to go through this. This is what's going to happen if you don't listen to Commanding General Yahanna. This is what's going to happen if you don't get your behind in the I.S.U.P.K. This is what's going to happen to you. That's what this is, a warning. That's what that prophecy is saying. It's not saying that you have to go into slavery. Well, we was the only people who could have went into slavery. We the only people, we would have went into slavery anyway because it's in the Bible. No, dummy. You went into slavery because you got high and you sold drugs and you had sex outside of your race. That's why you went into slavery. Not because God said you must go, because you didn't listen to your God. That's why we went. Read it again from the top, Kakam.
Khan, Deuteronomy 28 and 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
The Lord is going to bring a nation of as swift as the eagle fly. He's swift in his death, his judgment. This oppressor doesn't waste any time to put you to death. He's swift with war and lies and lasciviousness and sin and disgusting evil behavior. He's swift in his evilness. He's swift in his wickedness, his unaliving. He's swift. And this is a nation whose tongue you won't understand. We didn't understand Spanish before the Spanish enslaved us, before the Romans or the Greeks or the Europeans, the British enslaved us. We didn't understand what the hell Thomas Thistlewood was saying, but he did make us eat feces, and he was swift in doing it. These are animals. These people are animals. I showed you Thomas Thistlewood to show that Epstein is nothing new. He's not an outlier, Kakam. He's not an outcast. Epstein did what the rest of his race of people do: be disgusting, vile bastards. Jeffrey Dahmer, Epstein, Trump, Bundy, the clown killer, John Wayne Gacy, Brutos, Ed Kemper. These are devils who just are following in their forefathers' footsteps. They're doing what they know to do. Follow their base nature. They don't know how to be civil. They don't know how to have mercy. They don't know how to have compassion. They're fierce. They're swift as the eagle flieth. Keep reading.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
Say it again.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. Keep going.
Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They don't give a damn how old you are. They will grape a 90-year-old woman. They will grape a dead body. They will grape a newborn right out of your womb. They don't give a damn about age of consent. The only reason there's an age of consent is because blacks and Hispanics dwell here. If we never lived here, your babies will be getting great. Oh, wait, they already do. They do. Because this is a nation of fierce countenance who doesn't regard the young or the old. They don't care that they lock up. The ICE agents are killing, unaliving, and locking up abuelas that can barely walk, abuelos that can barely walk, children. They don't care that they arrest a 5-year-old child just so they can arrest his daddy. They don't have compassion. They're animals. A lion doesn't care when he kills a baby gazelle. You think the lion is like, oh, this is a baby. Only a people who are the salt of the earth can do something like that. Only the salt of the earth can have compassion like that, can have care like that, can have sympathy or empathy like that. A nation of fierce countenance cannot. These are bastards that rule over us like animals. And the only way that we will rule over them is if we obey the laws of God. Kakam, you had something else you wanted to say?
Loud, sir.
With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kakam Gabar.
Damn right. Yeah, this is the I.S.U.P.K, the security announcements. We, the I.S.U.P.K, started at the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, for a rule for new brother and sister. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're here to be saluted only, and they are here to shed themselves for the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. And after that 6 months period, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court one another. And after this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, that is a commandment. You can find that in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10. That means a tenth in the Hebrew, and that's ma'asharah. That's 10% of every penny or increase that the Lord gives you. You could give that to the Treasury Department or to the teacher. A priest fund or free will offering for a priest is not mandatory. That's whatever amount you would like. And upcoming holy convocations, we got the Feast of Purim. You know, that's March 2nd and March 3rd at sundown. So definitely You know, if you need any more information, holler at your camp leader. And also, of course, we got the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's April 4th down in Houston, Texas. You know, we got the slaughtering of the lamb. We got the all black party. We got the Passover itself. Then we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread, like we bringing out earlier, a whole week of definitely of functions or whatnot. You know, brotherhood and sisterhood. So it's down in Houston, Texas. And other than that, I don't think we got anything else coming up. You guys got anything coming up? Okay, kind of a so yeah. So the Feast of Purim, March 2nd and 3rd, and then April 4th, the Lord's 57th annual Passover. And if any brother or wants to come into the school, be a trooper, man, you need to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, war scarf. And with that, Amajim, we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel, Amajim, which means to stand. Amajim Shabbat.
Come. You said we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the sister?
No, I said to the teachers.
Okay, Salaki, go ahead. Proceed. I apologize.
Salaki, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the teachers, men of Israel, Amajim, which means to stand. Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakathum.
Yahanna, hands down. Sorry. We're gonna turn. We're gonna give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Sisters, Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak.
Yahweh
Yahanna, class dismissed.
Damn right, Shalom, mighty man. The water again, Shalom. Another good class.
Most High Christ.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.